In the heart of the Appalachian Mountains, where the mist hangs low and the trees whisper secrets of the past, lies a road forgotten by time. This road, known only to those who dare to speak its name, is the Forgotten Highway. Before we dive in, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to The Twisted Plot. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a chilling tale. Leave a comment if you think you'd be brave enough to drive down this road. Legends speak of this road with a hushed reverence, tales of travelers who ventured forth and were never seen again. It is said that the highway holds a power, an ancient presence that twists the fabric of time and space. This is not a place for the faint of heart. The Forgotten Highway calls to those who seek the thrill of the unknown, who are drawn to the mysteries that lie beyond the veil of the everyday. It beckons adventurers, the curious, and the fearless, promising them a journey unlike any other, a journey into the depths of fear and fascination. Our story begins here, at the threshold of this enigmatic path. The Forgotten Highway is more than just a road, it is a passageway into another realm, a portal to the supernatural. It is a place where the boundaries between the living and the dead blur, where the past and present collide in a symphony of eerie echoes. As you listen, let your mind wander down this forsaken path. Feel the chill of the night air, hear the rustle of leaves as they dance to an unseen tune, and sense the eyes of unseen watchers following your every move. This is the world of the Forgotten Highway, a world where every shadow hides a story, and every whisper carries a warning. Prepare yourself, dear listener, for what you are about to hear is not just a tale of horror, but a journey into the very heart of darkness itself. Welcome to the Forgotten Highway, where the adventure begins, and fear reigns supreme. Eric was not your typical photographer. While others might capture the beauty of a sunrise or the joy of a wedding, Eric had always been drawn to the shadows, the forgotten places that whispered of stories untold. His latest obsession was a road cloaked in mystery, the so-called Forgotten Highway, nestled deep within the Appalachian Mountains. It was a place not found on any map, a road that seemed to exist only in the hushed conversations of locals. Eric first heard about the highway during a chance encounter with an old man at a roadside diner. The man spoke of a road that defied logic, a place where the natural world and the supernatural collided. Intrigued, Eric listened intently, his mind racing with the possibilities of what lay hidden in the dense fog and towering trees. He could almost hear the whispers of the wind, beckoning him to uncover the secrets buried in the silence. Driven by an insatiable curiosity, Eric decided then and there that he would be the one to capture the essence of this enigmatic path. He imagined the haunting images he might find, the stories his photographs would tell. In the days that followed, Eric prepared meticulously for his journey. He packed his camera gear with precision, ensuring that every lens and filter was ready to capture the supernatural beauty he anticipated. He studied maps of the surrounding areas, piecing together fragments of information to form a mental picture of where the highway might begin. Yet, no amount of research could prepare him for what he might encounter. As the day of departure arrived, Eric felt a mix of excitement and unease. The allure of the unknown tugged at him, a magnetic pull that he could not resist. He set out early, the morning mist clinging to his car as he drove towards the heart of the Appalachian wilderness. With each mile, the world he knew faded away, replaced by an eerie anticipation that settled in the pit of his stomach. Eric's journey to the Forgotten Highway was not just a physical one, it was a step into the realm of the supernatural, a place where reality blurred with the fantastical. He was determined to uncover the truth behind the legends, to face whatever specters might lurk in the shadows. As he drove, he couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched, that unseen eyes followed his every move. The stories he had heard played over in his mind, tales of ghostly apparitions and inexplicable phenomena. Yet, Eric was undeterred. He was a man on a mission, driven by a desire to capture the unseen, to bring to light the mysteries that lay hidden from the world. As he approached the rumored entrance to the Forgotten Highway, Eric took a deep breath, steeling himself for what lay ahead. This was it, the moment he had been waiting for. With a determined heart and a mind open to the impossible, Eric began his descent into the unknown, ready to face whatever the highway had in store. Little did he know, his journey was about to take a turn that would forever alter his perception of reality, and leave him questioning the very nature of fear itself. As Eric steers his car toward the infamous Forgotten Highway, a creeping sense of unease begins to settle in. The road, unmarked and shrouded in mystery, stretches out before him like a dark ribbon disappearing into the dense Appalachian landscape. His GPS, once a reliable companion, now flickers with uncertainty, its screen a jumble of static and confusion. With each mile, it becomes increasingly apparent that technology has forsaken him here, in this place where the modern world seems to dissolve into the mists of forgotten time. The air is thick with an unsettling quiet, the kind that presses against the ears and heightens every sound. The whisper of the wind through the leaves, the soft crunch of gravel under tires, even the rhythmic thud of Eric's own heartbeat, all amplified in the oppressive stillness. Eric tries to shake off the disquiet, reminding himself of the stories that brought him here. Tales of a haunted road, of spectral figures and ghostly apparitions. A photographer at heart, he seeks the untold stories, the hidden truths lurking in the shadows of the world. The landscape around him is a tapestry of eerie beauty, fog draping the trees like ghostly shrouds, the occasional silhouette of a gnarled branch reaching out like skeletal fingers. There's an ancient quality to this place, a sense that it exists outside the bounds of ordinary time and space. Without the guidance of his GPS, Eric relies on instinct, each turn a leap into the unknown. The road twists and winds, leading him further from the familiar, deeper into the heart of mystery. With every mile, the silence grows more oppressive, a living entity that wraps around him, isolating him from the world he knows. He glances at the passenger seat where his camera rests, a silent witness to his journey. The thought of capturing the essence of this place, of documenting its secrets, gives him a strange sense of purpose. But beneath that, a gnawing fear whispers, what if the highway holds secrets too dark, too dangerous to reveal? As the sun dips below the horizon, the world around him transforms. Shadows lengthen and merge, the road ahead swallowed by the encroaching night. Eric switches on his headlights, their beams cutting through the gloom, but even they seem to falter in the face of the encroaching darkness. Alone with his thoughts, Eric feels the weight of the road's history pressing down on him. How many have traveled this path before him? How many have been drawn by the same allure of the unknown, only to find themselves lost in its depths? The silence is a constant companion, a reminder of his isolation. Yet, within it, there's a strange comfort, a sense of being part of something larger, something ancient and unfathomable. Here, on the Forgotten Highway, Eric is both explorer and captive, his fate entwined with the secrets of the road. As he continues on, the road unfurls before him, a silent invitation to delve deeper into its mysteries. And though the GPS remains silent, its screen dark and unresponsive, Eric presses onward, driven by a curiosity that borders on compulsion. Somewhere ahead, the answers await, hidden in the shadows of the night. Eric's heart raced as he cautiously maneuvered his car through the winding, fog-laden path of the Forgotten Highway. The thick mist clung to his windshield like a shroud, obscuring the road ahead and amplifying his growing unease. His senses heightened, every shadow seemed to stretch and shift with a life of its own, whispering secrets of the road's dark past. Then, through the oppressive fog, a silhouette emerged, a figure standing eerily still, shrouded in shadow and mystery. Eric's breath caught in his throat as he strained to make out its features, but the fog seemed to conspire against him, blurring the lines between reality and nightmare. The figure stood unmoving, yet its presence was palpable, sending a chill down Eric's spine that rooted him to the spot. As if sensing his gaze, the figure turned its head slowly, deliberately, locking eyes with Eric through the veil of mist. A wave of cold dread washed over him, more intense than the biting chill of the Appalachian air. In that moment, time seemed to slow, the world around him fading into an ominous silence. The only sound was the pounding of his own heartbeat, echoing in his ears like a drumbeat of impending doom. Eric's mind raced, torn between the instinct to flee and the inexplicable pull to uncover the truth behind this spectral encounter. Suddenly, the figure moved, gliding effortlessly through the fog with an unnatural grace. Eric's pulse quickened as he watched, transfixed, unable to tear his eyes away from the ghostly apparition. It beckoned him deeper into the mist, deeper into the unknown. As he hesitated, a series of haunting events unfolded around him. The wind picked up, howling like a mournful wail through the trees, and the shadows seemed to dance and cavort at the edge of his vision. The air grew colder, each breath a visible puff in the chilling air, as if the very atmosphere was alive with the spirits of those who had traveled this cursed road before him. The figure, now barely visible, seemed to dissolve into the fog, leaving behind an eerie silence that hung heavily in the air. Eric was left alone, standing on the precipice of terror, the memory of the encounter etched into his mind like a scar. He felt an overwhelming urge to turn back, to escape the clutches of the highway's supernatural grip. Yet, a part of him was drawn forward, compelled by the mystery that lay hidden within the fog. The road stretched out before him, an unending corridor of shadows and secrets, promising both danger and discovery. With a deep breath, Eric steeled himself, determined to continue his journey. He knew he was no longer just a photographer capturing images, he was now a part of the story, entwined with the eerie legacy of the forgotten highway. As he ventured onward, the fog closed in around him once more, swallowing the road in an impenetrable cloak of mystery. The figure might have vanished, but its presence lingered, a haunting reminder that the supernatural had only begun to reveal itself. As Eric ventures deeper into the heart of the forgotten highway, a chill seeps into his bones, carried on an unseen wind. The air grows thick, heavy with an inexplicable presence that seems to cling to him, whispering secrets from the shadows that dance just beyond his sight. At first, it's a faint murmur, a distant echo that could easily be dismissed as the rustling leaves or the call of a distant owl. But as he pauses, straining to listen, the whispers grow clearer, more insistent. They weave through the trees, curling around him like a siren's song, calling his name in a voice both familiar and foreign. Eric, they sigh, a breathless chant that chills him to his core. His heart pounds louder than the whispers, a frantic drumbeat that echoes his rising panic. He spins around, eyes darting from shadow to shadow, but there's nothing there, nothing tangible, at least. The world around him feels alive, pulsating with an energy that defies explanation. Every flicker of movement at the periphery of his vision sends a jolt of fear through him, each shadow stretching and twisting into grotesque forms that mock his sanity. The path ahead seems to close in, narrowing as the whispers crescendo into a cacophony of voices, each one a distinct thread in a tapestry of terror. They speak of forgotten tales, of tragedies that unfolded on this very road, of souls lost to the darkness that now seeks to ensnare him. Eric's breaths come in shallow gasps, his mind racing as he struggles to maintain a grip on reality. He knows he must move, must escape the unseen forces pressing in on him, yet his feet feel rooted to the spot, held fast by an invisible grip. In a moment of clarity, Eric realizes he is not alone in his fear. Countless others have stood where he stands now, drawn to the highway by the same inexplicable pull, only to be consumed by the darkness. Are you hooked yet? If you're feeling the chills, don't forget to hit that like button. Let us know in the comments what you think is really going on with Eric. And if you haven't already, subscribe to The Twisted Plot for more stories that will keep you up at night. With a surge of determination, Eric forces his feet to move, tearing himself away from the oppressive weight of the shadows. The whispers follow him, relentless in their pursuit, but he pushes on, driven by a primal instinct to survive. Each step is a battle, a defiance of the terror that seeks to claim him. As he stumbles forward, the shadows recede, their grip loosening ever so slightly, yet the whispers linger, a constant reminder of the danger that lurks in the forgotten corners of the world. Eric knows that this is only the beginning, that the highway holds more secrets, more horrors waiting to be uncovered. But for now, he presses on, heart pounding, mind racing, as the whispers fade into the background, leaving him alone once more with his thoughts and the chilling realization that the forgotten highway has only begun to reveal its true nature. Eric's heart pounded in his chest as he continued down the narrow, winding path of the forgotten highway. The road seemed to stretch endlessly into the mist, each turn revealing nothing but more of the same oppressive fog. Yet, as he pressed on, a silhouette began to emerge from the haze, a structure, old and decrepit, loomed ahead. The house stood at the end of the road like a sentinel of bygone eras. Its windows were shattered, and the roof sagged under the weight of years gone by. Vines crawled up its walls, as if nature itself sought to reclaim this relic of another time. But what caught Eric's eye were the markings etched into the wood, symbols that seemed to pulse with a dark energy, whispering of ancient horrors long forgotten. As he approached, an overwhelming sense of dread washed over him, a feeling so intense it nearly stopped him in his tracks. The air around the house felt thicker, charged with an energy that was both compelling and repulsive. He hesitated at the threshold, the door hanging ajar like a mouth frozen mid-scream, daring him to enter. Inside, the air was stale, heavy with the scent of decay and something else, something unnameable that clawed at the edges of his mind. The floorboards creaked under his weight, each step echoing in the silence. Eric's eyes scanned the dimly lit room, taking in the tattered remnants of furniture and the dust that hung in the air like a shroud. But it was the walls that held his attention, covered in the same strange symbols he had seen outside. They seemed to writhe and twist in the flickering light, as if alive. He reached out a trembling hand, tracing the lines with his fingers, feeling the grooves carved deep into the wood. A sudden chill swept through the room, a cold that seeped into his bones. Eric shivered, pulling his jacket tighter around him, but the cold seemed to emanate from within, as if the house itself was breathing, watching, waiting. In the far corner, a shadow shifted, catching his eye. He turned, heart racing, but found nothing but darkness. Yet the feeling of being watched persisted, a presence lurking just beyond the veil of sight. Panic bubbled up within him, and he fought to keep it at bay, reminding himself to breathe, to focus. He moved deeper into the house, drawn by a force he couldn't explain, as if the symbols themselves were calling to him, urging him forward. Each room told a story of neglect and abandonment, yet the symbols remained, untouched by time, glowing faintly in the dim light. In the center of the house, he found a room unlike the others. It was bare, save for a single chair and a mirror, its surface cracked and tarnished. Eric felt an inexplicable pull towards the mirror, a compulsion to look, to see what lay within. He approached cautiously, his reflection distorted by the cracks. Yet there was something else, something behind him, a shadow that shouldn't be there. His breath caught in his throat, and he spun around, but the room was empty. Turning back to the mirror, he saw the shadow again, closer now, its form more distinct. It was then that he noticed the symbols on the walls had begun to glow more intensely. The sense of dread intensified, and he knew he had to leave, to escape the grip of this place before it was too late. Yet as he backed away, the symbols seemed to whisper, their voices merging into a cacophony of sound that filled his mind. With one last look at the mirror, he turned and fled, the weight of the house's secrets pressing heavily on his shoulders. As he stumbled out into the fog, the door slammed shut behind him, the finality of it echoing in the silence, leaving him with the chilling realization that some doors, once opened, can never truly be closed. In the dim, oppressive silence of the dilapidated house, Eric's footsteps echoed softly on the creaking floorboards. His heart pounded in his chest as he moved cautiously through the shadowed corridors, drawn inexplicably toward a room at the end of the hallway. The air was thick with an unshakable sense of foreboding, as if the very walls were whispering secrets of the past. As he entered the room, his eyes fell upon a large, ornate mirror, its surface clouded with age and neglect. Yet, something about it seemed to beckon him closer, an irresistible pull that defied logic. Eric hesitated, a chill running down his spine, but curiosity won over caution. Stepping forward, he peered into the murky depths of the glass. At first, his reflection appeared ordinary, if not a bit distorted by the grime. But as the moments stretched, a change began to ripple across the mirror's surface. His own face twisted, morphing into a grotesque parody of itself. The eyes, once familiar, hollowed out into dark, soulless voids. His mouth contorted into a silent scream, frozen in an expression of unimaginable horror. Eric's breath caught in his throat, a strangled gasp escaping his lips as he stumbled back. His mind struggling to comprehend the nightmare unfolding before him. The mirror seemed to pulse with a life of its own, the twisted reflection mocking his terror. Suddenly, a sharp crack split the air, reverberating through the room. The mirror shattered, shards exploding outward like 1,000 tiny daggers. Eric shielded his face, feeling the sting of glass against his skin. The room plunged into darkness, the oppressive silence returning with a vengeance. In the aftermath of the shattering glass, Eric stood frozen, heart racing, his mind a whirl of fear and confusion. The reflection, though gone, had left an indelible mark on his psyche, a haunting reminder of the horrors lurking within the forgotten highway. As he gathered his wits, Eric knew he had to leave this place, but the question remained, could he ever truly escape the shadows that had now taken root in his soul? The journey on the forgotten highway had become more than a mere exploration. It was a confrontation with the darkest corners of his own fears, a chilling encounter that would linger long after he had left the haunted road behind. Eric jolts awake, his heart pounding in the stillness of his car. The oppressive silence of the forgotten highway lingers, a haunting echo of his nightmarish journey. As he struggles to shake off the remnants of terror, his eyes fall upon the passenger seat. There, a photograph rests, a chilling reminder of the ordeal he hoped was only a dream. In the dim light, he sees himself captured in the image, but the eyes staring back are hollow, devoid of life. A cold dread creeps over him, the realization settling that the horrors he faced were not mere figments of his imagination. The supernatural grip of the forgotten highway has marked him, leaving an indelible scar. Eric's encounter with the unknown has altered his reality, a chilling testament to the mysteries that lurk in the shadows of forgotten roads. As he contemplates the photograph, he wonders if he will ever truly escape the clutches of the highway, or if its darkness will forever haunt his soul. If you enjoyed this chilling tale and want more spine-tingling stories like this, hit that like button, leave us a comment about your favorite part, and don't forget to subscribe to The Twisted Plot for more hair-raising adventures. Your support helps us keep uncovering the eerie and the unexplained. Stay curious, and stay safe.